So we are going to discuss about the business process that was related to IBM Sterling Integrator. Okay. In this, what we are going to discuss and what are the topics and what are the key concepts we can see. Okay. So firstly, the introduction of the business process modeling. And can anyone know about what business process is?
It says like a step of process
Mm-hmm. Steps of process.
which we use to process the file, like translate the file.
Not a file. For example, you can say a process that contains a certain actions, okay, to do a specific task. Okay.
Yeah,
So something like it will start at some point and it has to stop at some point, right? In between, there is certain kind of actions we are giving. So that thing we call as a process. Okay.
okay.
So and what about GPM? GPM, you know about it's a graphical modular. Okay. There we can see all the graphical things like we can give directly without an XML code. So that will be helpful for creating BPs very easily and understandable as well. And at also same time, I mean, it will save the time to create the BPs as well. And I will show you that one as well, how it looks like and where we can see that. And now the key concepts here. So the key concepts are like the workflow with GPML, and that means like what we are going to create and how we are going to create to achieve in action. And for to achieve an action, we need to use some kind of servers and adapters for a particular BP, and those we can see here. And we are going to see the configurations of the BPs as well and the use of it, and also we can see the examples and life cycle as well. So the we can see a life cycle in the sense like the entire steps. So how it can achieve an action. Okay, that we can see also here. And coming to adapters, do you know anything about adapters and services?
Yeah, like services we will be using within SI,
Mm-hmm.
whereas like whenever we are connecting outside the SI, like we will be using the adapter.
Correct. Yeah. In that case, adapters will be like it will connect it to the external system. Like for example, we are dealing with a business, right? So we're transferring the data by using protocols. So exchanging of data from one system to another system by using adapters. Okay. The adapters in the sense like we can see file system adapter, HTTP server adapter, SFTP server adapter, and Java based JDBC adapter. So I mentioned some kind of adapters here only, but we have more and more adapters as well, and we can discuss that thing in the future. Okay. And
Okay.
from okay and and services as Bharat said. Bharat, are you only right?
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. So as Bharat said, is services in the sense like which will be using only the internal activities. Okay, like de-enveloping the process or translating the maps and encoders, ED envelope service and invoke sub business process. These are all inside only the BP. We can use these kind of services. Okay, these are some examples that we can going to create in the future, and this is the way we are dealing within the GPM. It is how it looks like. And if you want to see or write the code in XML, this is how it's like. And this is what we have and what we're going to achieve. Any questions till this? Till now?
no.
No.
Yeah. So we can discuss about of the adapters and services here. Yeah. Yeah. This is how the GPM looks like. The dashboard we can say. So there we can see stencils. There we can see menu bar, which we can help see options there. And this is the workspace. There you can drag and drop the stencils to achieve an action or create an action. And these are the elements. There we can declare or assign the values. Okay. And this is the navigation panel. There we can see steps or something like that. For example, next one, activities. Yeah, BPML activities. BPML activities includes activities and elements that work together in a business process. Okay. So you can see there we can see the adapters and services. So that we call it as activities. Okay, and elements in the sense like here there is an option. For example, you are dealing with this service. There we have to declare certain options there. So that we are calling it as elements. So both include and combination of both we can call it as BPML code and a business process. Okay, and these are some parent activities like we can say some start. Without start there is no activity to run the business. Okay, and without end there is no activity to stop the business. And these are the two one that it's showing the GPML board. Sequence starts. Sequence starts in the sense like it has to be a child activity. For example, we can see the multiple activities in the set and BP, right? So we can use sequence start and sequence end to start and stop that one sequence. Okay, and choice start. For example, if we have there is a specific rules to achieve a certain action, so you can use a choice start to apply the certain condition to meet the requirement and to run the action. So, for example, if we have multiple files to pick up from the pickup location, okay, so to run the all the files, it has to be a certain condition one by one, right? So it has to be met as the file has to be not equal to zero. I mean, the file count should not be equal to zero. Then until it works, right? If not equal to zero. Understood, right? What about start? Choice
Yeah.
start? Yeah. And choice end. Suppose as we have to choice, it has to be start at some point and it has to be end at some point. All the files are processing from one to end. So it has to end that choice sequence, right? So we can use choice end as a service to stop that action. And some other activities are like assign. So for example, you are dealing with some activities that has to be managed by something like manually, for example. Okay, that will not come in the file or data anywhere. So you are going to assign a specific tag to the specific data, or you can access from a specific tag to the another data. Okay, for example, yeah, here you can see. For example, this is a tag. Okay, there I can assign as an add to this action field. So it will take, for example, um, to a tag name assign. Sorry, to a tag name called action. For that one, add is going to add as a data in the process data. Okay, we can discuss about this on the later part so that you can you can understand clearly of that part as well. So now we can
Yeah.
understood what assign value is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, on fault. So on fault in the sense like, so for example, you can see some failures in the data, right? Some file you are going to process into SI that is getting failed. So it allows to process the next file. For example, next continue the next steps, and the fault file should be processed into this on fault group, and it will not throw in any kind of error, but it allows to process the next steps and the next files as well. Okay, and repeat. So here you can see there you can see the choice start and choice end, right? So a specific action is ongoing. So we should use repeat function. I mean repeat service. So then only we can see an action should be repeated up to the condition fails. This is the activity that should be used there. And servicing the doctors here. Yeah, yeah. File system adapter. As you know, I think it is about file system adapters. It is easy to collect the files from one system and placing the files to the directory properties. I mean, like to a file system on the
One
business.
thing here, Prithvi,
Yes,
Harshil and Bharat, can you
Yes.
please tell me what is the difference between services and adapters?
yeah. As we mentioned
Wait a minute,
earlier,
Prithvi, wait a minute.
yeah,
Harshil and Bharat, can you please tell me what is the difference between services and adapter? Harshil, I've already tell you about that.
Mhm.
Shashank, that's what services we will use within SI to connect, whereas the adapters will use outside SI.
Harshil,
Yeah, adapters are, I think, used to transfer the for different formatting, right?
okay. And services,
Services, I'm not sure.
okay. Pratik, can please tell us.
Yeah, yes, Shashank. Um, First thing, the adapters we can say. For example, the adapters are like the communication adapters like SFTP adapter, FTP adapter, HTTP adapter, right? So those are the adapters which will be used externally, like to connect in between one system to the another system through communication protocols. Okay, that will be helpful. And based on the communication channel, that adapters is going to take the file or picking up the file from the external system. Okay, so it will both, all the adapters will be used to data, I mean taking the data from the systems, that will be external. Okay, and services, as I told you earlier, services are like, for example, translation service, SIN service, or EDI DNLOP service, which will be used within the SI. So that activity or an action should be taken within the SI itself, like a data to be translated from one format to another format. So we can say a translation service there. So that should be used within the SI to translate one format to different format.
In the simple terms, you can say that uh, adapters, we are using adapters for anything. If you want to connect with the external system, then we are using the adapters. But any configuration we are using under the SI, then we are using a services for that. So this is the basic difference between adapters and services. Okay.
Yeah. Continue to the next one. Yeah, this one. So you understood, right, what file system adapter is? Bharat and
Yeah.
Harshan. Yeah. So next thing is JDBC adapter. So we can have something like a database table within the SI, right? So with something that we want to access from the database through SQL queries. So with the help of JDBC queries, we can access those data from the with the help of SQL queries. So mostly this will be this is the adapter that can be used for that one. And document extraction service. So something, for example, you can see sometimes we can receive a multiple or a batch data that from the, I mean, customer, right? So you want to split the files. So if there is a specific thing, something like, for example, we receive an EDI file that contains multiple ISA segments. So based on the ISA segment, we can differentiate and separate the file from one document to another document. If we reach a batch file, then we can see this document extraction service will helpful to separate the files. And EDI DNLOP service. So you know that one. Something there should be, you can say, de-enveloping. So in the ISA segment or GS segment and ST segment, that should be de-enveloping based on this service, and to to translate the data of the actual data in the STSC segments. So this envelope service will be used for that one to de-envelope those envelopes. Understood, right?
Yeah.
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 And yeah, ED encoder service. So ED encoder service in the sense, like, for example, we have certain envelopes. So where we can see, where we have in the envelope, like which level of envelope we are using currently. So for example, we can say IS envelope, SC envelope, GS envelope, right? So once it is going into this, and then so it will check the map. So where we can see in the HTML, you can see the map name. So it will call that map and it will translate that to the map. So media encoder service which will be helpful for that to uh, which envelope is currently accessing, and EDA envelope service. So we can see in outbound service it will be used because it is saying enveloping service, right? So For example, if a map is translating a data, and there's the data should be added by the envelopes like ISA, GS, and STs, right? So this envelope will be used, I mean, this service will be used to add the data to the output file, something like a data we can say, without any data and trial segments. It will be adding those send IDs, receive IDs, next the rest of the things like control numbers and date time, right? Everything we can see in the ISA, GS, and ST segments. Okay, and next involve sub business process. So this business process will be helpful to call a different business process in different BPs. Like for example, you created one BP. Okay, so that BP will be using in multiple business process in multiple places. For example, so this business process will be helpful that way. So for example, you can say the file is going to collect from one location in a specific BP. So you created that one and you want to use in a different BP. So if you use this sub business process, you can call that file collect BP, for example, and we can use multiple BPs in a single BP as well. And mailbox add service. So this service will be used to add a message to the mailbox. Okay, and till now, any question on that one, Bharat? Arun? Sorry.
No question.
Okay, and mailbox extraction begin service. So we can see we added a message to the mailbox, right? So there it is going to create a message ID. So
Arjun
when
and Bharat, don't take any doubt here. We will tell by using some BP example. We will tell us you the whole process, how can make a BP by using that services, like
yeah,
the release service they are using FSA adapters. So they will tell us. So only for the knowledge, what services doing what thing. So for that knowledge, they will telling us. But they will tell us also how to connect. How can we do that process? Make a BP for that. Suppose I will make a BP like so we are translating the file by directly putting the map name. Okay. So they will also tell you, and some other BPs also tell you they will go to some other location, extract the file. After extracting, they will convert the file into by using the map with using translation service. They will using that, and they will tell you after this PPT will be over. Okay. So
Okay.
for your learning purpose, it will be important because if you are using any BP and in an interview or any other purpose, uh, you are you are sitting there, so it is easy for you to tell us the interviewer. So what is the service? What is mailbox estate begin service? So it is very important for you to know about that. So go through the slide once again. If any doubt, so we will tomorrow connect on that part and. And clear it out. Okay, Bharat and Arshit?
Yes.
yeah,
Okay, Prit, we can proceed further. I am leaving for the now. Okay, and tomorrow we will connect again. I will connect again. Prithvi will continue the session. Okay.
yeah.
Okay, Prithvi.
Yes, Shashank.
Tomorrow I will connect Arshit and Bharat. Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
Shashank. Yeah. Thank you. And okay, we'll continue to this one. So mailbox extracting service, as I said earlier, the message was added to the mailbox, right? So once it was added to the mailbox, one message ID will be generated in their side. So based on that message ID, that message will be extracted from the mailbox and it will proceed to the next steps. And release service. Suppose, for example, you are assigning a assign by using assign function, you are adding some data to that and XML elements, right? As I said earlier. So, for example, here this one. Let me pick this one. Yeah. Here we added one action tag, and the message will be added. That to the action will be add, right? So if we want to remove this entire tag, so we can use a release function, I mean release service to remove the specific tags. Okay. So 1 minute, huh? I just come. Yeah, you understood, right? What release service is?
Yes.
Yeah. Suppose not a thing like this one, but whatever the process data there, you can say any kind of tags, right? Something I don't have right now. Let me discuss with you that one as well, so you can see clearly some kind of stuff. For example, we can say an XML data that we call the process data. For example, there is XML data in the sense like tag based, right? So each and every tag we can remove that one by using release service. I will let you know what it will be like. And protocol services, like without protocol services, and will not able to achieve or do an action to get the file from different system. Okay, so one of the services like SFTP client begin service. It is used to start a session with the trading partner to exchange a business documents. Like this service will be called as SFTP begin service, and this will be going to start a connection between the trading partners to exchanging the files. Okay. And SFTP client CD service. CD service in the sense like change directory. Suppose for example, we need to access the directories. So there we can see for example, here in this you can see this is one directory and this is SI directory and this is business directory, right? So change directory in the sense like it will access one by one. That will be it will be helpful for that one. Understood, right? Understood, right? What a CD service will be like. Hello.
Yes, Prithvi.
Yeah. SFTP client list service. For example, if there is a certain files in this some directory, so if you want to retrieve the list of files, so by using this service we can retrieve those files. Okay,
Okay.
and SFTP client get service in the sense like so. For example, that directory we can see one or more documents. So we want to pick up those files right, by using this SFTP client get service. Okay. Next, the SFTP client push service. Like this is the one service that will be used to or by
Place
using
the
get pick the files, right? Sorry.
place the file.
Yeah, it will place the file in a specific directory. For example, we are taking the files from different system by using get service. We are taking the files by using push service to a specific directory. Okay. And process data. Till now, no questions, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And next one, process data. As I told you earlier, process data is nothing but a certain steps that to do in specific action. Okay, so we can see in GPML model and as well XML model. So let I will show you that one what how one process data looks like. So basically, it will be like it is related to a business process that accumulates according to configured instructions the BPML. So we are doing a certain action like picking the file and translating the file with the help of map and placing the file in some directory. Okay, so there is an actions one, two, three. Three actions is there: picking, translating, and dropping the file. Right. So these are making in one XML file, one XML document that will show and help us to see each and every step. So that is nothing but a process data. Okay. And primary document. It is the mandatory one because primary document is the one is the something like it is the, for example, without this one, the BP will not achieve a certain action, right? Primary document is nothing but a, for example, if you are processing a file or you want to translate from the map. So there is a need of input file, right? Without that one, it not able to translate. So nothing here. Primary document is nothing but an input file, for example, before a translation. After a translation, it will be changed because there is a translate file already there. So that will be changing that as a primary document. Understood, right? What process data and primary document is it?
Yeah. I have one question here.
Yeah.
So we'll be picking the file. Let's take like we have picked the 855.
Okay.
Okay. So
Yeah.
once we have picked the file, so that will be the primary document, right?
So
Correct.
then it will be translated and it will be processed. Then it will be placed in the destination folder.
Yeah.
Okay. So till that time, that will be the primary document. Again, when it with the second file, that will be the primary document, right?
No,
Like
not
that,
that
right?
one. No, no. For example, if you have two files, okay, two files is there. So before translation, the primary document will be the input file. Okay. After translation, the primary document will be output. These are all for the first file. Okay. For once this process is completed, it will be going to process the second file. Okay.
Yeah.
So again, the primary
So
document input. Yeah.
so again, it will be the primary document will be the input file.
Yeah. Before
Second
translation.
input file.
Correct.
Okay.
And after the output will be the primary document.
So,
Yeah. So we are good, right?
yeah.
So we will be discussing about how the GPML looks like, and we will do some creation of a translation BP. You know
Also,
already
could you
about the
please
yeah
help me on installing the BPML in my system?
yeah I will let you know that one. So in business process, we can say manager, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. There we can see a GPML modular, graphical process modular. If we click on go, it automatically opens like this, like a file that will be downloaded. Okay. Then you can log in with the user IDs. Okay. This is how the GPM looks like. Okay. As I said earlier, this is the menu bar and this is the stencils that we're going to use. And this is the element activity there. If we click something like this, for example, I'm going to see. Just we need to drag and drop the options here. If I click, yeah, this is the element part. Okay. There we can going to update certain activities. And something like so before that, you know, right, how you are going to download that one. You understand this, right?
Which one?
Yeah, you understood, right? How we're going to download and run the GPM tool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So firstly, you will not able to see these centers. So we can click on view and there you can say stencil options. So if we tick this one, then you're able to see those. Let me untick those. See, this is how when we downloaded that one and login page, it will be open like this. So if you want to create any GPM and business process, so you should add those stencils. Here you can, I'm going to take as BPML because in BPML only you can see start, end, on fault. As I said earlier, these are the primary and mainly we are going to focus on. Okay, without this, we are unable to start a business process. And also we can use all services. Here you can see the list of services that will be list of services in the airports as well. So there you can see the service list of services here. And one more thing will be like X12. In this X12 services, there we can see that only for EDI, like only for EDI X12 documents. Okay, this will be used for this stencil. Okay, you understood, right? And let me tell you all these as well. You know about new, open, close, and all, right? Edit. Edit is also fine. You can cut that one, copy that one, paste that one, then delete and all. And view. You in a sense like is nothing but something you can see in the menu bar or a toolbar as status bar. So it appearance. If you untick that one, it will be disabled, and if you tick that one, it will appear again. Nothing like that. And build. Once you created a BP, need to validate that one, whether it is correct or any kind of errors in that specific BP that were created. We can validate this here. And options. So options is nothing we will not able to use mostly. There we can see select the file location that we are going to pick up or a source manager to export, and we can see, but mostly we are not going to use this one directly. Just leave it. And tools. Tools is like, as I told you earlier, we are going by using a choice start, we are going to set 10 rules, right? Here is the rule manager that we apply the rules. Okay, we'll discuss this one in the later part when we are going to use a choice start. And the other option is source manager. So we have two options here. Like once we created the BP, you can directly go to open SA dashboard, and there you can deploy the BP, or you can also deploy it from here as well by using here. By clicking the tools and source manager, you are going to see this one. Here also we can deploy the BP, and in the SI dashboard you can see that BP as well. The other one adds a flow. For example, if you are having multiple BPs you are going to use, so it will be helpful to create a supply as well to a specific BP. Okay, and help. There you can see about this. This is all about this. These also same. New, open, save, print we are not going to use. Open stencils. As we can see, view here there is a stencil option, right? Here you can use short here and cut, paste, and this is different. Like once you have created like activities that will be validated, so it will be showing you here in the notepad, for example. And this one is the source manager. This is shortcut of that one, and this is for switch. I mean zoom or zoom in option, and this is for helper. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you understood till now, right? Hello.
Understood.
Yeah. Now we will create one BP. I have one sample map here. So this is a sample map. Okay. So it will be converted the data of the EDI format to an XML format. I just create a sample map with one PC data, and maybe the logic is nothing but so I didn't apply any logic. This is just variables I used. Okay. But there is no linking or translating with the help of this variable. Just I directly mapping this field to PC data. Okay. So we can create one BP for the translation. I already deployed the map in this dashboard, so we can access the map as well here. Yeah, this is the map which I deployed earlier. So for creation of BP, as I said, we need to create some services configuration. Okay. For example, if we want to create a BP for certain for translation of the map, right? So for doing translation of a map, we need to create a configurations. In deployment tab, we can see services. There we can see configuration. So this configuration will be helpful for to create the BP and do a certain action. Okay. So here I'm going to search for translation. Okay. This is the translation service that I'm going to save and then click on next. Here I'm going to give the service name. For example, I'm giving as translation BP. And I need to give the description as well. if you are, as you know, like description is also mandatory one for every configuration SI, and these are just leave it as none, and which will be not helpful for creating group or something like that. Just create it as none. Next one, we have already we creating a translation service. Click on finish. I created one service here, right? Translation. Yeah, this is the one I created. So if you see this one, earlier we downloaded the GPM already, right?